evening and welcome back. So the A-level results are in and we've seen 10% downgraded, which actually should be a good thing. And stick around, we'll jump right in. So as they say, poor pupils are worst hit by A-level downgrades, with 10% seeing marks lowered, but record numbers are still heading into university as percentage receiving A stars or A's rises 2.4% to all-time high. And the total amount from Britain are going to university at a higher rate than the previous year. The amount from European Union have decreased, but the overall foreign students have also increased. It's just most of them are from the European Union, so that's got a bigger effect than the other overseas students. And I know that Tony Blair wanted 50% of the population to have gone to university, but that doesn't make any financial sense whatsoever. It doesn't make sense for the individuals either. Overall, it's just a stupid idea. Why do I say this? Well, it's because if you look at the university tuition costs, so this is essentially an investment. You are investing about £40,000 in order to get out more of it later on. So you're investing in yourself, so you'll be making far more than 40,000 over the next 40 years or so because of that change. That's where your 4 years as well during your most leveraged time of your life. That the time between 18 and 22, or at least before you're 25, is really the time to go make those mistakes and to try things out and get the work experience, do things that you don't like to realize you don't like them, do things that you do like to realize that you like them, and find a way in order to develop that path, because you will learn by doing. And on top of that, as far as the university loans go, that only about 17.3%, or if you will, a sixth of university students are predicted to actually pay back all of their loans. That's it. A sixth. Only 52% are actually expected to make any payments whatsoever. And given how much you'd have to pay back from your income, depending on how much you're earning, and that it will be wiped off in 30 years' time, you have to be averaging in the top 10% of income earners in the UK. And it really doesn't add up at all. If you say you want 50% of the population going, but only the top 10% can pay it back, it doesn't make sense. Which suggests to me that it's really not worth the investment of your time and money. You're far better off doing something else. And it really is that straightforward. It's the 90% of university students go work for the 90% who didn't go to uni. It's that kind of thing, because what universities now teach is far too expanded out to be useful for individuals. The ideal of a university is that you have a particular ideal in mind that you wish to develop, and therefore you're going somewhere in order to develop those ideas, be challenged upon those ideas, and challenge your professors on the ideas as well, in order to come out with something far better, like an academy, that kind of thing. And yet that isn't what it is anymore. It's just a thing of, oh cool, I've done my primary school, I've done the secondary school, I've done the high school, I've done the college, and now I'm going to do the university. And that is not how it should be at all. If you know what you want to do, go do that. Chances are it doesn't require university. If you don't know what you want to do, then don't go to university. It really is that straightforward. That I would say it's quite akin to just taking out a line of credit for a year and just spending it all, doing whatever, because you'd enjoy it, and then of course having to pay it back later on. And chances are you'll find out some things that you enjoy and don't enjoy, and things that you want to pursue and things that you don't during that year. Just like a gap year, but instead of saving up and then go traveling, it's just, here is some credit, go to town, and then pay it back over the next 30 years, if you will. That's it. So no, it does not make sense for so many people to be going to university. And that is why this is a good thing, because students will find, oh, what I thought I was going to get isn't what I got. It seems like life isn't certain, and I cannot trust the authorities and the people above me to stay true to their word. It seems like what I was told isn't necessarily true, and nothing is certain. which is a very valuable life lesson. And as painful as it is to have existential dread, it is actually quite good. It is good to have that little bit of paranoia. It is fantastic to question your assumptions. And normally, you need a traumatic event in order to question that. And that is what then causes midlife crises, because people realize it too late and go, oh, what I was doing was actually a waste of time and I've just wasted my life. And it's too late to change it, but it's long enough to live with the pain. That's what the midlife crisis is. So, if you can have the midlife crisis feeling when you're 18 instead of 40, then you've still got all the time in the world to change that. If you're thinking this is a very straightforward path, and then something happens and it doesn't work, then aren't you glad that you realised sooner rather than later? Just like with relationships, that if you think that you're with somebody for life and then you go away for a bit and you find out that they've cheated on you, aren't you glad that you found out then? Because they were that kind of person, and it would have been so much worse if you found out after you'd been married and had children. Or what about you want to be an electrician or a pilot, and you go through the academies, you get yourself all certified, and then realise that you're colourblind and can't do anything with it? Wouldn't you rather have that realisation earlier? And yeah, your life dreams are dashed, but you're either then going to go into curing colour vision, or you're going to find something else. And isn't it better to find out these things sooner than later? And the same goes for these students. So yeah, I'm sorry that you didn't get the grade that you expected, but I think good for you actually to realise that no, nothing is certain, and you've really got to make it off your own back. And the only thing that you can actually rely on is yourself. And you will even let yourself down sometimes by lying to yourself. So even that is difficult, but it's the best bet you have. So maybe focus on that. And it just goes on to say that independent schools have done better than state schools, which is hardly a surprise. It's like, yeah, if you have meritocracy and people being able to choose where their children go and supporting the places that do better, of course they're going to do better than just having to go somewhere because otherwise men with guns will take your children away. Yes, of course that's going to be better if you can choose where your children go. Yes, of course it'll be better. It's very, very straightforward. And saying that the most impoverished or the most disadvantaged or the least advantaged, however you want to phrase it, the poorest, whatever, classes have been worst affected by the lowering of grades, and yet we've seen the highest increase in them being accepted by universities. And of course, women are outperforming men again, as we expect, by 1%. The top performers, absolute top performers, are men again, as you'd expect. So averaging out is not going to look favourable for women in a couple of decades, as you'd expect. But women will continue to out-earn men until about 30, at which point they decide that they can't hack it or want a family, and the men will go, well, I want to be able to support my family and my career is important, so I'll keep doing it. And then in the end you've got the men who haven't gone to university and just worked all the way through and then are outperforming without the debt, whereas then the women are becoming mothers, still with their university debt. So, no. University, for most people, is not a good idea. So, good on these students for realising that university isn't a guarantee and you can't rely on anybody else other than yourself. And that is what is important. And the same goes for you in your own positions at the moment, that you might think you've got a stable job, but I would say there's no such thing. Maybe there used to be, maybe. But for most people, you don't want a stable job. That you've got to have some level of excitement, progression, opportunities. You've got to be looking for other things that you can be doing. That's why people have hobbies, because their jobs aren't as exciting as they want them to be. And then you find a way to profit from your hobbies as well, and you're good to go. I mean, a very straightforward thing to do would be to team up with somebody who's technically savvy and likes making videos or posting blogs about things, and just get them to essentially shadow you and say, hey, here's a hobby that I like. It could be go-karting. How about we fix some cameras on it, you film it and edit it, and you post it online, and we'll split the profits 50-50, because I'm the one with the talent and the skill in what we're doing, and you're the one with the talent and the skill in getting it out there. So we're going to say 50-50. Sound good? We both get to do what we like, and we're both earning from it. So just do it that way. Or the same goes if somebody's good at writing and say, well, I know some things, so let's write a book. I've got the topic to put down, and you're good at writing it. So let's do that. Or I like traveling, so then take some photos. make an Instagram account. Anything like that you can do to try and profit from your hobbies. That's why I do this. Politics is a hobby. I want to get the messages out there more so. And hopefully one day it'll turn a profit. So that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. And the same goes for you. You don't have to rely on other institutions and corporations in order to do the work for you and tell you what to do. No. Find your own way. Learn it, forget it, find your own way. That's Bruce Lee, essentially. So, congratulations to the students for realizing that nothing is certain, and it is time. Now that you've learnt it all, you must forget it all and find your own way. And as always, until next time, have a good one.